Good evening, family. Welcome to my channel, The Underrated Darkness. Yours truly, the underrated one, the grinder, Chef JT, not just chefing in the kitchen. I be chefing up information. I got another one, another underrated talk tonight. I just did the one about the late great oh, it slipped my mind. When the name come, I just Little Richard. I did the best of Little Richard. He passed away, I believe, today. And we got another one, underrated music talk coming on. And we'll read about Harrell. He was the founder of Uptown Records. He brought out Jodeci, Young Mary J. Blige, on and on. He produced Heavy D and the Boys. Father MC was part of that. And that was P. Diddy was under Andre Harrell. P. Diddy was the intern. And so I'm gonna read about him. And plus tonight it's going to be panel discussion. So as soon as I finish reading it, once I want to come up, feel free. So also I respect my existence, respect the Underrated One family existence, respect the LTPC existence that stands for Lions Den Boxing Community, also basketball community. So you had a good one tonight. Told you before, I come with the bangers. Oh, what's up, Michelle? I ain't see you in a while. Thanks for coming. And the link is it's in the chat. I'll be reading from there, so y'all can come follow me. Y'all go follow what I'm saying. So we'll wait for some more people to come through. Oh, hi, back to basics, back to the basics. How you doing? Thank you so much. Yeah, smash that like button. Don't be cheap. Also, I have a Cash App. Also, I have Super Chat. Excuse me. So, you want to wait for some more people come in? Like I said, after I finish reading the story about Andre Harrell, it's going to be a panel discussion. It's going to be a panel discussion. So come on through. So we're going to wait for some more people to come through. My Pasco peoples, thanks for joining. Very much appreciate it. So wait for more people to come through. Like I said, I'm going to read a story about him. The link is in the chat. You can follow what I'm reading. Excuse me, family. I'm hungry, so I want to put something in my stomach. What's up, man? Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Yeah. But like I said, after I finish reading the story, okay, I will have a panel discussion. Glad everybody's showing up. I said about another 3 to 4 more minutes. I'm gonna start reading about Andre, the great Andre Harrell. Let's mix it up tonight with the men and the women of the panel. That's what's up. Yeah, thumbs up, yo. Thumbs up. Okay. I have a Cash App. Cash App / $JT, capital letters, 5300. If you don't donate, at least hit the like button. Fine with that. Oh, everybody doing all right? Doing all right tonight? Very much appreciate it. I said about so what I go read from, all you do is just click the link. It's in the chat. That's what I'm gonna read from. Like I said, welcome everybody. Very much appreciate it. The ones listening, come on in. So I'm gonna start reading a few. And I'm eating. I gotta put some on my stomach. Welcome, Periscope. You know what? I'm gonna start reading right now. This person, Andre Harrell, he was a record producer, songwriter, and rapper. He passed away yesterday, so we're gonna pay homage to him. Like I said, the same story I'm gonna read from. The link is in the chat. I want you to go find that. It's in the chat. So I'm gonna read right now. And welcome to Underrated Music Talk. And also I did one earlier too. Y'all can check that out later on. Let's go to say, here it is. Andre O'Neal Harrell, born September 26, 1960, May 8th, 2000. He passed away May 8th, 2020. Was an American record executive record producer, songwriter, and rapper. Harrell was the founder of the record label Uptown Records. Harrell also served as president/CEO of Motown Records. He was the first half of the hip-hop duo Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Harrell is perhaps most known as the man that turned Diddy into a music mogul. Y'all can hear me, press 1, please. If y'all can hear me, press 1. If y'all can hear me, press 1. Excuse me. Anybody else can hear me? Let me know. Press 1. Okay. All right. Early life. Harrell was born in the Bronx, New York City on September 26, 1960, and grew up there. His father, Bernie, was a produce market employee in the Hunts Point. His mother, Hattie, worked as a nurse aide. He graduated from the Charles Evan Hughes High School in 1978. When he was a teenager, Harrell and Alonzo Brown, his high school friend, formed a rap group from a rap hip hop duo named Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. The group achieved success with major hit songs like The Genius Rap 1981 and AM/PM in 1984. Despite this early success in the music industry, Harrell had other career intentions. He went on to study at Baruch College before transferring to Lehman College. He majored in communication and business management, intended to become a newscaster. After 3 years, he dropped out of college and went to work for a local station. Career. In 1983, Harrell met Russell Simmons, the founder of Def Jam Records. He went to work for Def Jam. Within 2 years, he became vice president and general manager. After a few years working at Def Jam, Harrell left and founded his own label called Uptown Records. Harrell is credited with having discovered and signed with Sean Puffy Combs. In 1988, Mary J. recorded an improv over of Anita Baker caught up in the rapture at that recording booth in a local mall. Her mother boyfriend at the time later played cassette for Jeff Redd, a recording artist and A&R runner for Uptown Records. Redd sent it to Harrell, who met with Blige. In 1989, she was signed to the label and became the company's youngest and first female solo artist. What's going on, Money Boy Films? In 1988, Harrell was offered a label deal, MCA Music Entertainment Group, after he had multiple success releases. In 1992, MCA offered Harrell a multimedia deal, which involves film and television production. They developed Fox hit pop police drama series New York Undercover, which aired from 1994 until 1998. And then what I'm reading from, y'all can check the link. The link is in the chat, so y'all go and follow me. All right. Harrell renamed Uptown Records as Uptown Enterprise, and this record was featured production for Universal Pictures and Universal Television. In 1994, Harrell had a son with Randy Creedy, a music attorney. They named him Janae Creedy Harrell. In 1995, Harrell was appointed to CEO of Motown Records and remained there until 1997. He also hosted Champagne and Bubbles on Sunday nights from 6 to 9 on Imus Ubin ACWRKS, that's Kiss FM, New York. Harrell was the CEO of Harrell Records, which disputed through Atlantic Records. He partnered with Buddy, Atlanta-based production company, Entertainment, for the release of their new artists, Hamilton Park and Netta Brella. Harrell was the Harrell was the vice chairman of Revolve, Diddy's multi-platinum music network. On October 17th, 2014, he was instrumental in launching the Revolt Music Conference in Miami, Florida, at the Fountain View Hotel. The event was attended by such entertainment figures like Guy, O'Seal, Russell Simmons, and L.A. Reid. Harrell died on May 8, 2020 at his home in West Hollywood, California. He was 59, and news of his death was first announced on Instagram. According to Randy Creedy, Harrell's ex-wife, he had been suffering from heart problems the time leading up to his death. All right. Let's read a reference. So that's it. Now, anybody wants to get on the link, get on the panel, feel free. Anybody that want to get on the panel, feel free. Chances now. Oh, I want to read something else too. Thank you. Anybody want to get on the panel? Let's go. Let's mix it up, brother, men and women. Mix it up. Thank you. Appreciate that, money boy, for sharing my thing. Appreciate that. Thank you. Back to basics. Appreciate that. Shout out to the LTBC, that stands for Lions Den Boxing Community. All right. Anybody else? Come on, let's go. Hey, good evening.
Hello. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
I didn't know he was involved with Mary J. Blige. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he discovered that. And also he discovered, I'll be sure, part of our records, I'll Be Sure, and Young Jodeci.
Yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I love me some Mary J. Blige. Yeah, I like Mary J. Blige.
And she was the youngest female solo artist at the time that they signed.
Yeah, her career has been pretty good.
Yeah.
I remember back, like I said, I mean, I'm not that old. I mean, 1989. I was born in 86. So, I mean, but I remember her song, All That I Can Say. And there's just been so many good songs. I remember when her and Common did a collaboration when Common did Come Close and she was featured in that film. Man, that was hot.
Yeah, that was hot, definitely.
That was hot, man. And that I think that's wonderful that he was involved with Motown Records, because I know even Erykah Badu, her song "Bag Lady." Whenever I looked at the credits, that was also a part of Motown Records. That was done actually 20 years ago. The song, the video is like 2000, the year 2000. So I think that's awesome.
Yeah. And also, I'll Be Sure was part of that record label. Father MC. They had a pretty good roster. If I'm not mistaken, Christopher Williams.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because I know with certain people, they may start out, you know what I'm saying, rapping, and then they end up, making moves in the industry. I know, like with who was it? Master P. You know what I mean? Yeah, he started off, rapping too, but then, he moved up in the industry, and then he started to, sort of build his own, um, empire as far as, investing in different things. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I find that interesting. I see here in the article it said he was CEO or appointed, I guess, CEO over Motown from like 1995
Yeah.
to 1995 to like 1997. So I know that was around the time. I can't remember who Lauryn Hill was signed up under that time, but that was about the time that she was really, she had separated from the Fugees, and she had, uh
Yeah.
pretty much went solo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's
And
an excellent influence.
oh yeah, and with music these days, no disrespect to the, the new rappers out there, but it just seems to me, just from my short existence, I mean, even hip hop and R&B has changed. Back in the 80s, when you listen to rap and then you hear a change in the 90s, and then at around
Yeah.
about not like 2005, you hear another change. It's like right around that time period, there's another change, and sometimes you don't hear that neo soul
Right.
like it was, because now it just seems like. And also you don't see you see more solo artists. I mean, because again, there were more groups back then as
Mm-hmm.
well.
Yeah.
you know
Yeah. And see, it goes back then. That's when the New Jack Swing came. He was around the time of New Jack Swing with Guy, um, Keith Sweat, Today. If I'm not mistaken, the group Today, they was part of Uptown Records too. They're part of Uptown Records roster too. So he was around all that. That was a good time for hip hop, especially hip hop. Yeah. You can go ahead and talk back to basics.
yeah, it was a great time for music. I mean, I know whenever I was growing up, I mean, I listened to like a wide range of stuff. So I mean, I listened to I was more on the R&B continuum. So I listened to TLC and Destiny's Child, and I listened to Brian McKnight.
Yeah.
Uh Common was one of my favorite rappers. Um and I like Lauryn Hill too. And then
Yeah.
I like Missy Elliott, you know. And then
Yeah.
trying to think who else. I don't know. I listened to a wide range. I was just more on the, TLC, Destiny's Child. I love 702, man. When they came out with their, Where
Mhm.
My Girl's At, I really like that. There was a lot of groups. You just don't see that anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's definitely a different sound.
Yeah, and then what's so important at that time? Everybody had their own distinct sound. None of them did not sound the same, and that is that's the thing that we don't hear that much today.
You're right
Everybody's
because, uh-huh. Yeah, you're right because
now go ahead. Go ahead.
a lot of these rappers they sound the same. Like I'd be listening to somebody and I said, "Oh, that sounds like so and so," and then somebody would be like, "No, that's this person." And I'm like, "Yeah, but they sound like somebody else." Like pretty much a lot of them are sounding the same.
Yeah, yeah, I know. So all right, so what's your favorite artist, man and female?
Um, I really don't have a favorite. I mean, I listen to so many different genres, so it's hard to just say like one favorite. But I will say this. One song that I keep going back to is Sam Cooke, A Change Is Gonna Come. I just keep going back to that song. I could literally put that song on repeat. But I listen to a variety. I could go all the way back and listen to the big band era, like back in the 20s and 30s. It doesn't necessarily have to be
Ooh,
content. I can go right back to Louis Armstrong. I can go right back and listen to orchestras. I can go even further back and listen to Beethoven and Bach. It doesn't matter to me, long if it's music.
okay.
I can
Well,
do.
yeah,
Oh, go
like
ahead.
what?
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. No, like well that see on underrated music talk, I cover every genre. I did jazz, I broke down jazz. I did every genre, and then there are some people that are innovators for a long time. They have created a different genre. Like you got Louis Armstrong. Louis Armstrong come from he did by so he come contemporary. He came from real jazz, but like when he got older, he got to play contemporary jazz. You got Duke Ellington. Duke Ellington composed almost 4,000 songs in his career, and and so his sound was crossover. So that's something to think about. That our people, we the originators of music. It used to be gatekeepers back in the days. Nah, you cannot sound like that. That's like it is so. But now it's like it's okay. There's no protocol. What's going on? So, and that's very important that younger people need to understand that. So, well, I'm into classic R&B. I like some R&B back in the days, but right now, nah. You know, yeah. Anybody that want to join the panel, let me know. So,
Yeah, don't be shy. I'm just chilling
uh,
up here.
she needs some company.
Oh my goodness.
Dude, she need company. Come on. So,
As far as female artists, I would say, like I said, it's difficult. I listen to a lot of female groups. So I mean, Lauren Hill, it would really be hard between Lauren Hill and Missy Elliott. Uh, because I like
I
those
just want.
two. Oh, Erica
Yeah.
Badu. Yeah, Erica Badu as well. That'd be hard.
Well, I'm gonna go way back. I'm gonna go Aretha Franklin,
Oh yeah.
Sarah Vaughan, Ella Fitzgerald.
I like Etta James, you know what I'm saying? That at
Oh, one
last.
man, yeah, Ella
Yeah, Etta
Jack.
James, man.
That's the one. That's the same one made Tell Mama.
Mm-hmm.
Tell Mama. Yeah, and yeah. Just let me see what. See, I'm into orchestration, so I like Barry White. I like MFSB, Mother, Father, Sister, Brother. That's part of Philly. That's Sounds of Philadelphia. That's my favorite. That's my favorite genre right there. Sounds of Philadelphia. Mm.
Yeah, I would like to say shout out to all of the underrated rappers out there. Um, I really liked Twista and Nas, and there's a few other ones that
Mm.
I just feel that didn't get that just due. And I got mad love for DMX and Buster Rhymes.
Oh yeah, yeah. Busta Rhymes is
Man,
very underrated.
DMX, man. DMX.
DMX, yeah, yeah. DMX,
I mean,
yeah.
yeah,
They
definitely.
pins, they pins are sick. Man, they pins are sick. I'm like, wow.
I went back, I listened to Buster Rhymes, his Woo Ha. I got you all in check.
Yeah,
That came out like 1995.
yeah.
That was back in his earlier days. That was something, man.
And that's when he formed Flip Mode Squad. Flip Mode.
Oh yeah, that Flip Mode Squad.
Yeah, Flip Mode. They did their thing though. I go front.
They
They had a long
did.
career. They did their thing. Then Biggie come out with his crew. Um,
Of course,
what,
Tupac,
what?
Biggie. Um,
Okay, Amanda, if you want to get on the panel, feel free. Go ahead. The link is in the chat.
yeah, the link is right there. But
Want to
like I
get
said,
on?
yeah, there are a lot of underrated rappers. I mean, no disrespect to Eminem and 50 Cent or anybody
Man,
else.
man, oh, man.
Nah, I'm not trying to do no sneak diss or anything. Cause I,
I ain't sneaking this in. I was never. I never really cared about Eminem, man. Yo, oh my gosh.
oh, shout out to Bone Thugs and Harmony. I really like Bone
Yeah,
Thugs and Harmony.
yo,
Yeah,
yo. Everybody never talk about them. It's
Bone
EP and D.
Thugs and Harmony.
Yeah, that's what I mean. EP and D. Nice and smooth. Nice smooth don't get mentioned, but they got bad hits too. And they beats is sick. Oh my god. Hip hop um Slick Rick, the ruler, Big Daddy Kane, got Ice T, you know.
I think I heard a joint from. Oh, you know what? It was Mob Deep. That's who it was. They had a song, and I know Redman and Method Man did like a collaboration at one point. I'm trying to think of somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Jay Z. Jay Z.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. um, but like I said, a lot of these new rappers, I really, like I said, I don't. I sort of fell off after like 2005, so I can only speak up to about right there. As
I
far
like
as
LL Cool J.
Oh yeah, yeah. As far as female artists, I really like Monica too. Monica and Brandy was nice when they
Mm.
did The Boy Is Mine. That was actually a really nice collaboration.
I'm gonna tell you, a female rapper, they always sleep on when they never get their characters to is MC Light. Her pen is sick.
Okay, I had to go back and listen to her.
Listen to Georgie Porgy. Oh,
Now, I really like Lauren Hill because at least with her lyrics actually meant something. Like when I looked at when she did the X Factor, when she did Everything is Everything. Like that whole album, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, anybody can put a rhyme together, but what does it mean? Does it mean something?
All right, Amanda, no problem.
Oh, she said she just gonna listen. Okay. I'm trying to keep my eye on the chat. I'll be trying.
Yeah, well, like I'm saying, if anybody's not joining the panel, so late, I'm gonna shut this down. I ain't gonna stay up all night.
Y'all heard
I ain't
him.
doing it.
He ain't gonna stay up all night.
Y'all better come to the panel. Somebody come to the panel. Yeah, DMX. Yeah.
Yeah, I love DMX. Yeah. I really liked his video when he did Party Up. And
Mm-hmm.
then he did that video and he turned out to be it was a mistaken identity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was really good.
I like EPND. Um, yeah, what's the other rap group? KRS. You can't leave the teacher. KRS.
Okay. I like Big
I like
Pun. Big Pun.
Big Pun.
Yeah, I
I
like
like
Big
Big
Pun.
Pun. I'm gonna tell you something.
Fat Joe.
Don't sleep
Yeah.
on don't sleep on Fat Joe now.
Fat
Fat Joe.
Joe. Hey, I remember I went back to his video Lean Back. I went back to
Yes,
Lean Back.
R&B and Rakim, right? Yeah, R&B, Rakim, EP&D. Yeah, I said that, man. I'm telling you, every time they talk about rap groups, they will say EP&D. What? Oh my goodness. You guys to chill.
Shout out to Fat
Crossover.
Joe. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, do you remember Bubba Sparks when he did his song? He did a song called
Yeah, I remember.
Deliverance. Bubba Sparks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, he only had one. That's it. He had none on that.
Oh, Bone Crusher. He did his. I ain't never scared. He did that song.
Yeah.
Bone Crusher.
And I'm gonna tell you, one rapper they always sleep on is Redman. His pen is sick. Oh
Yeah,
my goodness.
I mentioned Redman and Method Man because I do believe they did a collaboration. Hey, it's Silk BB Scratching and Rob. What's going on,
All
y'all?
right. What's up, yo? Yo, the if y'all want to get on the panel, the link is in the chat. I'm not gonna be here all night. Mm-hmm. So Silks, Wu-Tang, of course, no doubt. No, yo, I just finished reading about Audrey Harrell. So anybody want to join the panel? Because I'm shutting this down. Nobody will come. I'm shutting this down. Let me see who else. Who else? I can go back too. Jazz, man. My goodness.
Yeah, I mean, as far as I like, I can do the 70s. Like I said, I don't know. I'm not like a music guru or anything, but I like. I can go back to Earth, Wind, and Fire, and
Great, right? Yeah.
the Spinners.
Oh yeah,
The
they part of it.
OJs. I can go back
Yeah,
to the
they part.
OJs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they part of the Philly. Nah, yeah, I'm raw. Yeah, I'm saying, but people got to come up. If people, I ask people to come to the chat. I mean, come to the panel. If nobody not coming up, I'm shutting it down because no matter sense to me. Stay.
But yeah, that
Come
was
on, gotta
a
be fair. Yo.
the Temptations. I mean, it's just so much good music. Um,
Yo, there's one song in '69 that the Temptation made. Is Black Man. Y'all gotta hear that. Oh my goodness. You gotta hear that.
all right. Yeah, my dad was all about James Brown.
Or JB, no doubt. JB and yeah, JB the official, yeah.
Yeah.
The funky drummer. Oh my. You know
Yes,
how many
indeed.
people you know how many people sample off that beat? Oh my goodness. They sample off that beat. A lot of people sample off James Brown stuff, man. A lot of people.
Yeah, James Brown.
Like I said, the link is in the chat. Anybody want to get on? Get on. Let's go.
Oh yeah, I can go back to Smokey Robinson and the Miracles.
Shit, I go mess around. I go Martha and the Vandellas. And I could say the Isley brother. Isley brother was with Motown a few years too. A lot of people don't know.
Yeah, Amanda, I have mentioned Lauren Hill. Um, like I said, I her music came at the right time because I was just hitting adolescence. I was just hitting like 12, 13. So it was refreshing to see an artist like her. Yeah. Her and Erica Badu and India Ari.
Oh, I love it. Yeah,
India Ari, when she did that brown skin, I was like, whoa.
yeah. Oh yeah. Everybody
Ooh,
was
Lord
in love
have
with her.
mercy. And shout out to D'Angelo, man. Yeah, yeah, D'Angelo. I remember his song "How Does It Feel" and even his older one, "Brown Sugar."
Him and Angie Stone had a baby together.
Uh-oh.
And long time ago, yeah, him and Angie Stone, yeah.
Angie Stone. Yeah, I was just listening to her song "No More Rain in This Cloud." I like her. Yeah. And you know who else I remember? You remember Kelly Price when she did "As We Slept the Night Away"? You remember that one?
Yeah, I
Kelly
know.
Price. Yeah.
That's that's Ronald Isley. God, Ronald Isley. God don't do.
Yeah. Tony Braxton. I even like Deborah Cox
Yeah, yeah.
when she sang "Nobody's Supposed to Be Here." Oh man, the vocals on that.
And what's his name? I forgot. What do you mean you don't want to get JT Fred? What you talking about, Rob?
Oh, he wanted Amanda to go up, but then Amanda said, "You go up," and then he said, "Nope, I don't want JT flagged." Really? Yeah, somebody come on up. He's somebody don't want to get.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, BB Stokes said Craig Mack.
Oh, she
Yeah,
did.
Craig Mack was. Yeah. Craig Mack was on his way too, man.
Mm,
He was on his way. He could have one. I'm saying I think he did 2 or 3 LPs, but the first LP was hot. But I'll say if he would have had more LPs, he would have did more hits. We would talk Craig Mack's a legend. There's some people say he's a legend, but see who else. Yeah, there was a lot of good rappers back in the 80s and 90s. They did 2 or 3 LPs and you don't hear from them no more. Now I would Eric B. and Rakim put up more stuff.
I just remembered somebody. You remember who was it? There was the Black Eyed Peas, but I know there was like Nappy Roots.
Uh-huh.
They had like a couple songs.
Don't forget about the Goody Mob down south of Outkast.
Oh yeah, Outkast.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I like Outkast. What you think about the Yin Yang Twins
Hmm.
and like Jadakiss, Ja Rule? Dang, who else was
Yeah,
there?
They had hits though.
Yeah,
Really, they
Ja
had
Rule.
hits. Yeah.
You could tell it was him because he be getting up on there all raspy. I don't even remember Macy Gray when she came out because she also had a raspy voice and she did get up and it was like get up, get out and do something. Like she had a song.
Yeah, Macy Gray was wild. She said, I want Obama. I don't care what Michelle said. I said, yo, that's crazy. Macy Gray's crazy, yo.
I liked Eve as a rap.
Yeah,
I like Eve. I think she started off with like the Rough Riders and then she went
yeah.
solo on her own.
Yeah, she all right.
Uh let me think.
All right, anybody that want hey, what's up? What's up, Screw? Anybody that wants to get on the panel, get on it.
Is that link
Make your
still up?
presence felt now.
The link's still up there? Yeah, the link's still up there.
You funny, Rob. You funny.
What he's saying?
It's the only time Macy Gray looks good when she wore the wig in Training Day. Yo,
Oh
that's
my
crazy.
gosh. I like the brat.
Oh, Brad got skills.
I like the brat. Not too
Yeah,
many
me too.
people talk, about her being a female rapper. Everybody want to get wrapped up in Lil Kim and all that other stuff, but whatever.
You talk about Little Kim? You mean Little Kim bleach her hair and the skin? That Little
I
Kim?
mean, I was listen. I didn't say that you did. I just listen.
I'm just saying, truth's
I
truth.
just it is what it is. R. Kelly had a really good run. It's just that I didn't, so you could say
You got the vibe. He got the vibe, but yeah, with your vibe went. Nah, I'm just nigga, shut up. I'm gonna be nice tonight. I'm gonna be good
you
tonight. That's
said
all.
you was gonna be nice. Okay, I'm just all right now.
I'll be nice. I ain't gonna say nothing. Again, anybody want to join the panel? Get on the panel right now. We waiting. And the ones coming early, whoever just finished uploading, y'all can listen to it.
Who else though? There were so many rappers. I can't remember everybody. So many good. Uh.
I like last night the Pips. I like the Four Tops.
Okay.
Um let's see what else. That's a lot. I can't even think of
Yeah, I
it.
can't even think of it. There's so many of them. I felt so bad when I heard that Aretha Franklin had passed. It's just a
Yeah,
shame.
yeah.
Um, I mean, Patti LaBelle is okay. Her and Gladys Knight, but I'm saying
Oh,
ain't nothing wrong with Patti LaBelle and Gladys Knight, but it's just I felt bad when hearing about Aretha Franklin.
Okay, I'm telling you right now. I'm giving you 7 more minutes. If nobody did not come to the panel, I'm out. I'm shutting this down.
He says
Let
7
you know right
minutes.
now. Give you almost 7 minutes. I'm shutting it down.
Trying to think who else was rapping. I know Pharrell. Yeah, you had Pharrell, Snoop Dogg. Uh,
Hey, beloved, how you doing?
dang, look at Rob. He laughing. He said 7 minutes.
Yep, 7 minutes. I'm dead serious. If nobody did not come on the panel, I'm shutting it down 7 minutes.
Oh, I didn't think about what's her name? Queen Latifah, because she was a rapper.
Yeah, yeah,
She was
yeah.
looking a little rough, but man, she really transformed. She really and I know the last time I was checking, she had her Queen collection on what is it on CoverGirl. Yeah, she has the Queen collection, I do believe, with CoverGirl. Yeah, so she really branched out, going from
Honest, yeah, word. You're right,
yeah.
Rob. Honest. Oh my God, I used to go crazy. Every time I used to think of that song, I'm gonna rob somebody, man. Come here, motherfucker. Yeah, especially they don't money love, right. She was down with the native tongue. She was down with the native tongues with Tribe Called Quest, um, the Jungle Brothers, yeah. Native tongues, yeah. Money love got something. Yeah, she got something. Salt and pepper.
Yep, can't forget about Salt and Pepper.
Yeah. Okay, y'all. Y'all think I'm playing? I ain't playing.
What you think about? There was a few people who had a good run. I know Usher, he did his thing for a little bit, and then we had Genuine. Anybody remember his song "So Anxious"?
Yeah.
And we had, who was it? Chingy, Nelly. And does anybody remember Juvenile?
Oh yeah.
And we can't. Let's not forget about Mystical. Oh, we can't forget about Mystical.
See, Bill was making fun of Mystical Force, but he had something.
Yeah, he had
He
his
had
own
a little
unique
something.
sound. He had his own unique sound.
Yeah, he had what he's saying. I said, oh, okay.
Old Dirty Bastard. Shout out to Old Dirty Bastard, man.
The great old 35.
Yes. We can't end the
That's great.
broadcast without saying, yo, the old dirty bastard. He's about, hey, dirty, baby, I got your money. Don't you worry.
Yeah, man. Yo, but the
I
but the
say, hey.
yo, but Rob, he gonna know about people gonna know about me and Rob from Brooklyn. So when they play Brooklyn Zoo, oh God, I ain't saying nothing, but I hear Brooklyn Zoo. Oh my God, I used to be like, all right, y'all, don't play me though. I got Brooklyn Zoo. Oh my God. Yeah.
Look at Rob. He
Okay.
laughing. He laughing.
Yeah, that's true, man. All right, family. I'm not playing. I think I'm playing.
Uh-oh, we're hitting that 60-minute mark. Who else was there that was rapping real good? Um Now my mind went blank again.
It was a female rapper.
Oh, you mean a female rapper?
Yeah, what you was thinking about? Yeah.
I was just thinking of anybody at this point.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean Nicki Minaj and Cardi B. I mean, eh.
Yeah. Okay.
um, who else?
Nah, yo, Rob, yo, no, Rob, understand this. Yo, I am very tired. On jokes aside, I did a live earlier, and you know, I told people to come. I invite you to come. You know what I mean? But I can't.
You know what? Who else had a nice sound? It was I know who it was. It was Faith Evans
Yeah,
and oh, there was somebody else. And you know, Whitney Houston, I remember that song she did. She did Heartbreak Hotel. That was one of
yeah.
her last ones. And of course Aaliyah. I really liked Aaliyah. Um and there
Yeah,
were
you know
some
what Rob put?
oh go ahead. Oh, what did he say?
He says, just shut Shalonda. Don't want you to leave. Should I come up? That's no, don't blame it on her. That's on you.
Jay Shine. What's up? What's going on?
Yeah, Jay Sean. What's up, Jay Sean? Come, yeah, man. Come up here in the panel, man. Come on. The link is in the chat, man.
Let me make
What's
sure
going on?
it's make sure it's still in
That's my
there.
man.
I know it done scrolled up.
Oh, Melissa Morgan, yeah. Yeah, come up, yeah. Peace to you, Jay Sean Rams. The link is in the chat. Come up here, man. Just a few minutes, because after that, I'm out.
Yeah, I put it in the
All
chat. I put it in the chat again.
right, thank you.
Mm.
Appreciate that. Yeah, because the underrated one already hit you. Underrated music talk with late great Little Rich. I told you I come through. She did, man. Yo, that's what's up, though. That's what's up.
I remember Maxwell when he sung that song, uh, Fortunate. Shout out to Maxwell, man. Ooh, that Fortunate. That was a good song back in 2000.
And Maxwell wrote his own stuff too.
That's right. Shout out to Maxwell.
But you know what I like? Chico DeBarge.
All right.
Yeah. Hold on, let me get the brother here. Bang.
Oh,
Okay.
oh, hey, what's going on?
What's up, sister?
What's
What's
Hello.
going
up,
on,
brother?
bro?
What's going on, y'all? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you
Yes,
here. I'm
sir.
gonna I'm gonna mute.
Oh, you got to mute. We good. What's going on with y'all?
Not much. We just finished reading about Andre Herrera.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, and y'all talking about artists, man. Yo, I guess rest in peace to Little Richard. Already passed.
Yeah, I did him earlier.
Okay. Okay. What's weird is y'all talking about music. I was sitting here actually, it's like 5 in the morning over here, and I was about to go to bed, but I was listening to like Otis Redding and like Solomon Burke.
Oh
I was
yeah.
sitting over here,
Yo,
yeah, zoning out.
that's
It's
old school
old
right
school.
there. Yeah.
Hell yeah. You know, to the pioneers of
All
it.
right. Good.
You know.
And yo, and Benny King. Night on Broadway, and then he do Supernature back in '75. Supernatural, babe. Y'all gotta hear that. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, I can do some BB King and Ray Charles.
Okay.
Yeah, I can do that too.
I was listening to two of the greats just a minute ago. You know, Solomon Burke and Otis Redding do their thing. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
And don't
looking at some old live videos and stuff. You know what I mean? Watching them do their thing.
I'm gonna tell you something. Nobody never said nothing about him, but Tyrone Davis. Woo!
Tyrone Davis. What songs he sing?
What's that song?
Tyrone Davis. Okay, I know what Tyrone Davis is. Show was my turning point. I got you. All right, I know who he is. Man, he going back, man. These are the dudes, man.
Yeah, man.
Talking about Tyrone Davis. You're talking about like Johnny Taylor and all the rest of them. Those dudes.
Yeah, Al
legends,
Green. Al Green.
Yeah,
oh, don't you start now with Al Green and Curtis Mayfield. Don't do it.
I'm telling you, man. I take it back, yo. I take it back. The Iceman.
Yeah.
Jerry Butler. Yeah, I hear that. Don't play me, man. I know stuff, man. Shoot, mess around. I take it back to big bands back in 1920s. Right.
Yeah, man. We have an illustrious culture. I just wish we valued it more. You know what I mean? I think part of our culture also, unfortunately, is this quickness to move on to new stuff. Like, look at hip hop now, right? A lot of them don't respect the hip hop that came before. I'm talking about like 15, 20 years ago. Let alone 10 years ago. You know what I mean? They don't respect it. And it's what built what you have. And without it, you wouldn't be where you have what you have now. So it's like, we gotta get off of that. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with revering and valuing what we come from. Because when we talk about culture, we it, man. I'm over in Europe, man. They love R&B over here. I was on my channel. I did a live stream a few weeks ago, and I had a little fun talking about culture, and I was showing like these R&B and funk bands out in Thailand, and these people can't even speak English, but they singing like SOS Man, M to Me. You know what I mean? Sugar Free. You know what I mean? And playing the instruments. So a live band, girls singing our music, and they can't even speak English, but they can sing R&B, and that's all they're dedicated to is R&B and funk. And it's like our culture is revered around the world, but we don't value it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we were just talking about as far as the sound changes. Like the 80s had a sound, the 90s had a sound, all the way up to about 2005 for rap. And then it seemed like once Missy Elliott fell off, then everything changed around 2005. And then, just like you said, they don't respect that. They actually look back at that and was like, oh, that was weak. They were like, oh, well, that's weak or that's what. I'm like, listen. I'm like, did you even listen to the lyrics on what some of these people had in their stuff?
We're in a mediocre culture now. Before people had honed their craft, we used to have this thing called Apollo. You know what I mean? In New York, and Showtime Apollo. And that was just a microcosm of the bigger culture. Like, you couldn't be in front of us we couldn't represent us unless you had it. See what I'm saying? And now in this internet age, anybody can come on, and unfortunately, I don't think the generation that's out now is actually technically more advanced, but I don't think intellectually and soulfully they're advanced as we were. You know what I mean? Or as maybe our grandparents were. Well, we were soul people. We were soul men. We were soul women. We had a rhythm to us, a bop, a way about us. And, a lot of that came out of segregation. So it makes sense, because when you look at, the fall of segregation and integration happening, what they did was give us this thing called intersectionality and interracial sex. That's what they gave us. We didn't get no money. We didn't get no real, policy or anything that changed our lives for the better. We got that, and when that happened, it weathered down the culture. So now, if you want R&B, they're gonna give you Adele or Justin. You know what I mean? If you want rap, they got a million white boys out here rapping now. So 30, 40 years from now, the greatest MC of all time is gonna be Eminem. He's gonna be the Godfather. That's how they're gonna change things, the same way they did with rock. So if we don't protect our own culture and value our own shit, we lose it.
Yeah. and we don't pay homage to the legends that put it down for years.
Yeah.
And it's sad, you know what I mean? I just don't like it. If you ask people, yo, who started bebop? I say, y'all never heard of Charlie Parker?
Yeah,
He create bebop, yo.
Yeah.
He
Without
what do you mean he
bebop,
create
without
bebop?
doo-wop, without funk, you don't have hip hop.
No,
You know,
don't.
they were rapping back then, scatting
Yeah,
and rapping. You can go back to
exactly. Yeah,
1930s. There's songs we
yeah.
were rapping, and you know what I mean. And it was called jive, right? Jive talking.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean. But that's the basis of rap.
Mhm.
And then what jive did is it went into comedy, right? So we had about a bunch of jive comedy artists like Mabes Mabley, and then Red Fox. You know what I mean? That whole all that ilk, right? And then you got later on you got your Dolomites. You see what I'm saying? All this has a rhythm. So when you look at like early hip hop, like Melly Mel and all of them, they still had that they still had that jive cadence, you know what I mean, to their rap, and you know what I mean, that they got from the 70s. You see what I'm saying? They came into the 80s, and then it just evolved as generations turned. But everything's connected. It's all linked, you know what I mean? And then we started sampling. I'm from New York, so we would get the CDs and we look at the back, or the albums, we look at the back and get the credits, and we know where the songs come from. You know what I mean? Or we know that, Pete Rock or Marty Marl or whoever dug in the crates. They had a Dig in the Crates crew with, Don Medina. You know what I mean? This was a thing with us. So brothers would, like, in their houses and their labs, they'd be literally digging in the crates, looking for those samples. And while we were doing that, we were going down memory lane. We were going back to the 30s. We was going back to the 40s, 50s, and 60s. We were connecting back to our culture. You know what I mean? And that's what hip hop was in the beginning. So what it is now is not what it was in the 80s and 90s.
No, it wasn't. Yeah. And the music was quality back then. Everybody had a different sound, distinct sound. It's not copying,
Yeah. What was that? 1989, number 7. Get Down. Sound of the Funky Drummer. You know what I mean? Chuck D was telling you about what's behind us. What's behind us is JB, James Browner. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? That's what we sampling, the sound of the funk, because that was that era where James Brown was being sampled heavy. You see what I'm saying? So look, our culture is illustrious, man. And it's nothing like it. And when you get out the country and you see other people loving your culture, there's a million rap right now, and R&B is being sung and rapped in 1,200 different languages. I want you to think about that. Because Colombia has their own rap artists. You know what I mean? Germany has its own R&B artists. Japan has its own funk artists. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? They don't even rely on you no more. They got it now.
That's true, yeah. Sure is, man. He said we're going backwards.
I mean, we can't keep relying on our talent. We are great people. We keep reinventing shit. You know what I mean? When it seemed like the white boys want to rock, we backed off, let them have it. We invented something else. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? It seemed like they wanted jazz, right. We backed off, we let them have it. They got Jazz Fest now is Caucasoid Central. You know what I'm saying? Like, really. And the crazy thing is, they know what the history is. Let me tell you exactly why. When you listen to rock music, right? Rock music is built on jazz. It's just a different sonic that you're getting. You know what I mean? From electric guitar and how they hitting the drums and all that. But you look at the swing bands, the drum patterns, it's all been done before. So these rock groups are not doing anything new. You know what I mean? There's not a lick on a drum or on a guitar that's not been played by a black man before, if you really know the music, if you know your history. So when you go back into old music and you listen to old rock and roll that was invented by black artists, you know what I mean? I'm not even talking about Chuck Berry. I'm talking about some of the other brothers. You know what I mean? Like the John Taylors. And I mean, if you listen to the licks, these licks have been done before. But just like we took music, remixed it, and sampled it, that's all white rock artists did. Remember, Rolling Stones, Pink Floyd, and all of them, they got sued by black artists when they first started out. Rolling Stones started out as a cover band. So was the Beatles. So in London, they were loving black music that was being shitted on in America, and they were digging in the crates. And they were literally remaking songs that they would find obscure black artists and a great song that he did that never saw the light of day, that never got any shine in America, right? And they would do it over, and it would be a hit.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? You know, oh, we can talk about Elvis. We can talk about all of it. All that's black shit.
Mm-hmm.
All of it's us. It comes from our great grandparents. And
okay, no, go ahead.
now, and I was going to say the saddest thing about it is that when you think about it, really, this is really the tragic part about it. I don't really mean to be a downer, but music is a form of expression, and that expression comes from your life experience and your pain. So when we talk about the blues, right? So R&B, you're talking about what we went through. What were we going through at those times? You see what I'm saying? We were living through the pain of lynchings. And, you know, when you hear Billie Holiday talk about Strange Fruit and the songs by Nina Simone, that's our pain. That was translated into R&B and blues and jazz. And you see what I'm saying? That was our experience. That's why you should cherish it. That's why you shouldn't let nobody just take it and do what they want to it. That's why you should be territorial. The cooning must stop. It's our shit. I ain't supporting the white artists. I don't give a fuck how good they are.
You know what? When I first heard Christina Aguilera, I thought she was black.
Me too. Yeah.
I was confused. I was like, who is this that done, came up on the scene? But just like you said,
and the Genie in the Bottle was a good song.
Yeah, it was. And I'm like, who? And then when I seen who it was, I was like, what?
I like that song. Genie in the Bottle, I actually like the song. It makes my toe tap. You know what I mean? Toe tap. But they stealing our shit, you know what I'm saying? And we let them. And then you got all these black people who got a chance to, live a suburban life or mentally live a suburban life and get into this intersectionality shit. And they raising their kids on not just, white music, that's white versions of our music, also white versions of our sitcoms. We had the best sitcoms. We had the best TV shows. I mean, since Amos and Andy.
Watch yourself. Yeah.
We've been the shit for so long. So that's why it all gets blanked out. Think about what happened with just recent. I'm giving you more recent examples. I can go into the Cosby's and all those great shows, and they started mimicking, and they had to bow down to it because it was just killing the game. Shows like Martin, The Rock, we was killing it. At the end of the 80s, early 90s, our culture was literally at its zenith.
In living color?
Everything. I mean, I'm talking about classic shit. I mean, that no one can touch. Our culture was at its zenith. Look at the movies that was out. Boomerang, Coming to America. Our culture was at its zenith. You know what I mean? Hip hop was at its zenith. Even R&B. You talking about the transition from the great R&B artists, or Luther Vandross and Whitney Houston. I'm talking who was out at the same time. Prince. This is out at the same time. When you turn on Black Radio, you heard everything from M2Me to Ozzy Brothers. Right behind that was Whitney. Right behind that was Stevie. I mean, it was our culture was at a zenith. Yeah. You understand me? And then what they did remarkably, and it worked, was give us a little acceptance. You know what I'm saying? And people sold out. Our producers sold out. We didn't even care about the art form being pure anymore. And then what happened behind that, because there was no link between us, the children now and the past. Now these kids are just making music in their bedroom and putting it up like it's hot, and it's half baked, and it's not no real thought going into the music. You know what I mean? And it's unfortunate because it's like that was an expression of our genius, was our music.
You know what I noticed, even with some of the older sitcoms. Now this is just me studying, because shoot, I'll take it all the way back to Andy Griffith. You know what I'm saying? I'll go right on TV Land. But you know what? Even those shows had a black character, but they were played by white people. So here's an example. Leave It to Beaver, right? You had Jerry Mathers as the Beaver, and you had June and Ward Cleaver, but then you had Eddie Haskell. Now that was a black character. Somebody was going to say some slick stuff and then be like, "Oh, hello, Mrs. Cleaver." I mean, that was a black character.
And the genius of Dave Chappelle, what he did with the niggers. He was he was poking that thing. He was pulling that thread. When he remember that part of that show when he did that that skit called The Niggers? He was pulling on that thread. You know what I'm saying? So he called the white family the niggers.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because for so long they've been trying to play us. Even if you look at a movie like Dirty Dancing, right? I was talking about Otis Redding a minute ago, and he had a song called I'm a love man, doom, doom, doom. You know what I mean? And then you had another song, Cry to Me, by Solomon Burke. All those songs that I was just talking about, a lot of them were in Dirty Dancing. The whole soundtrack is black. Now, the great song that came out, had a time of my life. That white man who sung that song, if you listen to Jules and John Holland, the show that's over in London that I used to watch, a live show where they had like multiple bands go back to back. He was on there one day and he was talking about the greats he listened to. He was at the piano getting interviewed. This is a white man who made that song. He also made that song that they played in Top Gun. They were singing all the time when he was singing when he bagged the girl. I forgot how that song goes. Anyway, those two songs are written by and performed by this one white dude, right? He got a lot of, fame in the white society for it and everything. But when he sat there and did the interview, he talked about how he got started. He got started by listening to black artists. He named like 13 different black artists. You know what I mean? Some of them were obscure black artists. He wanted to sing like Otis Redding. He said, I wanted to be, that's what he said in the interview. This old white guy. So they study us. And then they come out with their version of our music, and then they become the greatest hits ever. You know what I'm saying? You look at, again, Dirty, go back to Dirty Dancing. Dirty Dancing was about us. There wasn't white people in the basements. Dirty Dancing, that was us. That was us, saying? That was us shaking and grinding. And you know what I mean? They wasn't dancing like that. That wasn't them. That was us. But they couldn't make the movie about us. That was us at the retreats, entertaining white folk. It wasn't white people entertaining white folk and teaching them how to dance. We were the entertainment. We were in the Cotton Club. You know what I mean? That was us. So to make a movie, they put these white faces in a black place. You know what I mean? And then, you know what I'm saying? And then, Patrick Swayze character, Penny, those are black people. You know what I'm saying? They playing the role of a black person in a black life. We would have been at those retreats entertaining white folk and teaching them how to dance. And we would have been in the basements with beer, grinding on our women. I'm a love man. You know what I mean? That would have been us. That was us.
That's one of the reasons, y'all, that I created the Underrated Music Talk, because I felt that our culture was slipping away. And I said, I'm gonna bring it back in my form and introduce our culture again to let us know that we the creators of every genre of music out there. You talk about movies, whatever. That's the reason why to bring, like y'all talk about, that's bring me joy that I created the Underrated Music Talk, because a lot of us did not want to have these conversations. They lost, they just want to talk about this and that. So that's part of the reason to have a conversation like this.
Now I will correct you on something. We didn't create Muffin and Sons, all right? That's some white shit.
I know. I'm just saying,
I know.
Real shit.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, but I love when other people are in their culture. See, that's their culture. That's that Yiddish, old, Gaelic sound. You know what I'm saying? From the rolling hills of Britain or Britannia. You know what I'm saying? That's their shit, and they cool doing their stuff, man. But what they do is they go around the world commandeering other people's shit. That's why the greatest martial artist movies are now starring who? You see what I'm saying? We had remember back in the 80s we had the American Ninja?
Yeah.
Straight, white dude, Karate Kid. I mean, they take other people's shit and make it their shit and make it hot. And because they have the system and the numbers, what we need to start doing is really selling our culture to our own people again. What hurts my heart is when I'm around Africans from Africa and they listen to pop music from Europe.
Oh, Lord.
You know what I'm saying? They listen to Afro beats, but they also on their radio was rocking heavy. There's a lot of European, white versions of our shit. And it's like all that music in Europe came from America through us. You know what I'm saying? And you have all this music over here in America you could be listening to. But if I go to Thailand, I can not only watch these people listen and dance to our R&B music from the 80s, they'll be playing it, performing it, living it, feeling it. You know what I'm saying? I bullshit you not. This is the real stuff, man. There's a group called something good, Super Goods. Look it up. Type in Super Goods in YouTube. You see what I'm talking about. All right. You see what I'm talking about. And it's cool too. It's actually cool, to see our culture being revered this way. I mean, these people are playing the music. Bass guitar. I mean, Asian dude killing the bass. You know what I mean? Just killing it. I'm like, wow, man. And then we out here not giving a shit. You know what I mean? Just not caring about our culture at all. It's kind of vexing and sad.
I had a chance to actually go to Germany. I had went to Berlin, Germany. This was like way back in 2008. But I know what you say is true because I went out with a group of friends. So we went to this club, right? And it was 80s, 90s night. And I'm telling you, I looked at the crowd. I was like, dang, they were like falling on the floor whenever like Lauryn Hill song and the Fugees was playing. And
Yeah.
I
Shalon
was
Hill was just
like,
here. She was just
wow.
here a couple months ago.
I
She was
was
up in
like,
Oh, she was?
Cologne.
dang.
Yeah, she was in Cologne. I saw the thing. It was on a Wednesday night, so I couldn't do it. But it was on Cologne because me and my daughter went to see Phil Collins last year. Because I'm out here in Germany. I'm out in Wiesbaden. And we drove down to Stuttgart. So I picked my daughter from school, and we drove 2.5, 3 hours to Stuttgart to go to a concert to see Phil Collins. And he had the original band there, everybody except for Chester Thompson, the black drummer. Why? Because his son is now drumming for him. But everybody else was there. So the same black backup singers, the Phoenix Horns from Earth, Wind and Fire was there. You know what I mean? And then, the same guys he had touring with him that usually tour with Genesis as well. Same crew. You know what I mean? And I'm a Phil Collins fan. I like Phil Collins music. So I went down. We drove down to see Phil Collins. That was a long ass drive. I would have had to do the same thing, to go see Lauren, but she was a little further away. And I couldn't do it again. But if she comes back again, and I'll probably take a day off to go check her out, man. But yeah, man, they love our music out here. And Wembley Stadium. How many seats does Wembley Stadium hold? Wembley Stadium in London.
How many seats?
Yeah.
I believe 60,000. I believe 60,000. 60 or 90,000, something like that.
Yeah, I'm sure. Let me see what capacity. It closed in 2017. But back in the 80s, Wembley Stadium was the shit. You know what I'm saying? And and we had R&B artists like Luther Vandross. Even Alexander O'Neal. You see what I'm saying? I think that place held like 100,000 people in Wembley Stadium, if I'm not, mistaken. And that's what I'm saying. Our culture was at its zenith. You know what I'm saying? At its zenith. And it's unfortunate, man, that we don't Alexander O'Neal couldn't sell out Madison Square Garden twice. You see what I'm saying? But he sold out Wembley Stadium twice. They liked Alexander O'Neal. His music, because his music was funky, it was R&B, it was all that. It was produced by Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. They were the sound at the time. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, man. That's why I love. That's why sometimes I love to do this, because people like y'all, man, persons like y'all enjoy, and that's me, man. I'm just gonna keep it going. And also, I do artists too. Now, I think the next time when I do Underrated Music Talk, I'm gonna do Slim Harpo. What's it? Who's Slim Harpo? He's a blues singer. He the first blues singer that co-wrote different hits that with the crossover, like R&B and pop. But he passed away in 1970. And he was 46 years old. He was in a car accident, and he was on his way. But I'm gonna talk about him. That's the one, man. Scratch My Back, Baby. I'm gonna do about next week, sometime next week.
Hey, have you been catching those Instagram battles?
Nah, I haven't
during COVID. They had what was it? Scott Storch versus Manny Fresh. what's her man? Swiss Beats versus Timbaland. You know what I mean? Then you had RZA versus DJ Premier. That was dope. Then you had what's her man? Okay, that brother out of Atlanta. Shit.
Lil Jon?
Lil Jon versus oh my god, I'm having a brain cramp. The other brother with the oh my god, I forgot he made that many hits. Dark skin brother, he's also from Atlanta. Dude with the auto tone.
Oh, you're talking about what's his name? Did he do Buy Me a Drink?
Yeah,
T-Pain?
but
yeah.
T-Pain.
Yeah.
T-Pain.
T-Pain. They're from
That
Florida.
And that was a dope battle. I didn't realize how many hits T-Pain written and produced. I didn't even realize that shit. You know what I mean? And another one that really was good, that even though there was a lot of, which surprised me, we had a lot of hardcore rappers in the chat room. There's a lot of like you could be in the room chatting and Fat Joe and Jadakiss in it. It was an R&B writers battle between Neo and Jonta.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? That was dope. And Jonta got hits. So does Neo. And Jonta, Neo, Frank Ocean, The Dream, they wrote a lot of the female anthems. So all of those single ladies to the left, all that shit that Beyonce sings, Mariah Carey sings, Rihanna, that was written by those brothers. These songs are written by black men. You know what I'm saying? Which is like showing our culture. Look, man, those battles, and tonight, I believe they had a battle between Jill Scott and Erykah Badu.
Oh, we missed that. I love.
Yeah, that was
Erykah
tonight.
Badu.
I think. I just remembered. It just hit me because my sister sent me a note on it. So our culture. Look, and it's been breaking IG. You talking about 300,000 people live watching these on IG, and you got people streaming it live on YouTube at the same time. So, we talking about IG. Instagram has never had that many people on live, but our culture is at its zenith. Oh, I forgot Babyface versus Teddy Riley. Another good one.
Yeah, I heard about that. I heard that one.
You know what I'm saying? So these our culture is on. It's what it is, man. And I think it was a great thing that happened, and it happened on IG because that's where the young people are now, right? You on a medium that they're familiar with, and they can turn on, and it fits. It's not like they got to go, turn on an old TV and slap it. No, it's on Instagram. You know what I mean? And they get to sit there and listen to all that shit like, damn, and this is the culture. This is what happens when you have a body of work. You know what I mean? Everybody that was on these battles have a body of work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They have a body of work. So our culture is always gonna shine, man. It's shining right now. You know what I'm saying? In these Instagram battles that is captivating the world, like millions of views now at this point. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful to watch, but that's our culture. I mean, I don't know who would go up against Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. That's Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis is a whole nother animal. Them brothers to me are like the top of the heat. You know what I'm saying? It's like Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis. That's it, man. I mean, right beneath them, I will put Teddy Riley. Unfortunately, Instagram would never let it happen, but R. Kelly's another one. That brother has a lot of hits. So when we talk about talented black people amongst us, our history and our legacy, those who are actually about the craft and the really talented ones still shine through the most. You know what I'm saying? Even though we got a lot of bullshit out here, the ones who are really talented shine through the most. You know what I'm saying? Talent. Beyonce's a beast. Girl could sing and she could perform like no other. You know what I mean? She's a Tina Turner of our day. You know what I'm saying? And, the cream will rise to the top. I just think we need to get back to cherishing and respecting our culture, holding on to what we already have, but also making sure what's being put out is quality. Because that's what's going to represent us in the time. You know what I mean?
Oh, yes, I agree to that. Yeah. Wholeheartedly.
Let me ask you a question. Y'all, when I came in to the chat room, y'all was talking about singers, and he did kill Neo. Neo had good hits. I'm talking to my man in the chat room. I forgot how many hits Neo had, but Johnson's a beast. Johnson's a beast. That Johnson guy hits. That's a writer's writer right there. But when I came in, I was talking about singers, and I put Melissa Morgan in the chat room because I think she gets overlooked. When Melissa Morgan came out or was shelved, actually, it's because Whitney Houston was coming up. Whitney Houston's first album didn't do well. It wasn't no real hits on there. So Clive Davis turned to guess who? Our late great brother Kashif. All right. Now Kashif was working with them, with Arista at the time. And he's the one that invented a lot of that 80s sound with those different sounds you hear in the back, the little tingle sounds and knuck sounds. That was Kashif. So when you looked at a lot of white music, pop music that came out at that time, that especially was being released from Arista, whether it was David Bowie or whatever, you heard a lot of that Kashif style or things that he brought to the game in that music. You really got to pay attention. But anyway, when he needed a hit, he turned to Kashif, and Kashif went and wrote "You Give Good Lovin'" and the soul songs for Whitney's first album, which actually put Melissa on the back burner. You see what I'm saying? Melissa Morgan, to me, is probably the only female that was out that time that can rival Whitney Houston. That girl could sing. She used to sing backup for Shaka Khan. This is what I'm talking about, legacy. Shaka Khan had her as a backup singer. You know what I'm saying? Like girls like that as backup singers. Matter of fact, Shaka Khan put a lot of women in the game through backup singers, which means Shaka Khan was secure on who she was. She just wanted bad chicks. She wanted bad chicks with her. She wanted bad sisters on her behind her blowing. So Melissa Morgan was one of those women, that was torn with singing backup for Shaka Khan. And that girl could sing her ass off. She had a register that I probably was higher than Whitney's, maybe not as high as Mariah's, but definitely higher than Whitney's. And she had a bottom as well. The girl could sing, and she never really got her shot, because she kind of put things on the back burner. She had a few songs here and there that worked, doing it, doing it, you know what I mean? Doing it, she had that song. She had, that was at Fool's Paradise. She had that song. Do You Still Love Me? A slow joint that you can probably look up that shows her full scale. Then she had that duet she did with Kashif, Love. I forgot the name of the song, man. It'll come back to me in a minute. But there's a few songs you go check out. You can check out that sister's her skill level, man. But we had a lot of great singers out at that time in the 80s when you think about it. And you look at the field now, it's like, what the hell happened to our culture? You know what I'm saying? What happened to our culture? When Melissa Morgan was trying to come up, she was trying to come up against Whitney. Guess who was already out? Anita was out. We had Anita Baker's out here. We had Patti LaBelle's out here. We had, we even had pop chicks like, Jodie Watley. You know what I'm saying? We had our culture was at a zenith. Prince was running around this joint doing his thing. You know what I mean? Stevie was doing his thing. You know what I mean? This is the 80s. You know what I mean? Cats like Billy Ocean. I mean, I'm talking, of course, Luther, Freddie. Then you had groups like SOS Band, M2Me. I mean, Ozzy Brothers was doing the thing in the 80s. It was too much. Ray Goodman and Brown, the Whispers. I mean, we can keep going. This is the 80s, man.
Yeah, and I could tell you this: to some groups that you mentioned, but some of them came from New York, and they were superstars, like SOS Band. You got Central. What's the name? Like I forgot. Well, there's two came Glide. Well, Glide. They came 2 LPs, but in the 80s they died off. But they came out, man. So it was real music back then. It was competition too. It was competition.
You forget about Mary Jane Girls. It was put up by Rick. About Rick James. Rick James was a monster. We had monsters running around here, man. We were just monsters left and right. You know what I mean? There's a great interview I love on. You might want to check it out on. Was on the Breakfast Club. The interview James M2Me. All right, that was a real good interview. You'll love it. He talked about a lot of stuff about the culture, things that were going on back in that day. You know, James Ingram to me is a beast. He also has a full fusion jazz album because these are jazz artists. Patrice Rushen was a jazz artist. She's not an R&B.
Yeah,
She's a
yeah.
classically trained jazz. This woman can play piano, bass. She's teaching right now in Ivy League schools. She's teaching white kids music. That's the Patrice Rushen. Patrice Rushen was a monster. You know, Angela Winbush, Renee and Angela. I mean, we had monsters running around here.
Stephanie Mills.
Stephanie Mills was giving her first songs, putting a rush on me and all that stuff. That was Angela Winbush. You know what I mean? Yeah, she composed all that shit.
But I think the one guy we always forget about of jazz fusion, R&B, and pop is the late great George Duke.
George Duke. Oh my God.
Yo, yeah, George Duke. Yo, I'm telling y'all like this. Hear George Duke throughout the set. It was oh my God. Yo, you're a treat. Oh my God. Dookie stick? What? Come on, stop playing with me.
Yeah, man.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, monster. Yeah, George Duke. You also had another guy I liked that was out in the 80s too. That came out. I mean, you talking about at the end of the 70s into the 80s, it was a transition, but one of my favorite guys, man, George Benson.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you talk about beefs, man. You know, we got Earth, Wind, we didn't even talk about Earth, Wind, Fire and Cameo and all these other things. I mean, look,
That was something. You gave me that. That's another conversation.
Man. And then
you got
higher players, but then also let's not forget what was happening over the pond. You know what I mean? In the beginning of the 80s, what was happening over in the pond? You know, in black culture, which they got from us. You had the rise of groups like Family Stand, what's the name of that group? Loose Ends, Soul to Soul. Think about that scene. You know what I mean? Loose Ends was way ahead of their time. You know, I mean, just beautiful music, man. This is soul music, and how it translated to other cultures and other black people around the world was phenomenal to watch in the 80s, man. And unfortunately, right now, that's not happening anymore.
Yeah, shout out to Malik Omar. Came to the chat. Thanks for the compliment. Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that. If you want to get on the panel, you can, brother Malik Omar. Yeah, man. I can go back. I told people because man, y'all ain't ready for me. Y'all ain't ready for me. I go with it. And then we gotta understand too that even when they see everybody saw jazz fusion and stuff like that. Miles Davis was fused with jazz in '69 with R&B. They said, it cannot be done, but he did it. He did it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Quincy Jones. People don't understand. People say Quincy Jones. Quincy Jones been out since the mid '40s. Do you know the Ironside back in '64? I mean, people don't realize. You know, Quincy Jones did. There was a soundtrack to Ironside, and he wrote Ironside.
Yeah, he did a lot of great work.
Yeah, he's the first one that put down synthesizers in popular music. Nobody never done it before Quincy Jones.
Right.
Sanford and Son. He wrote Sanford and Son.
Quincy Jones is a legend. I like that, and that's why I like the fact that his daughter was the one that put that documentary together on Netflix. It's a real good documentary on Quincy Jones. A lot of old footage.
Yes, it was.
It was a real good documentary. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I missed that. And also, he Living Off the Wall. Quincy Jones produces. I wrote some of that too.
Oh yeah. The first two Michael Jackson albums. Yeah. Off the Wall and Thriller. Yeah.
I listen to Quincy Jones all throughout the '70s. It's great work in the '70s. But listen to The Dude back in '81.
Mm-hmm. He also did The Wiz.
Yeah, he did The Wiz '78.
Yeah.
But
the color is blue. You know what I mean? The color is green. I love that show, that movie. You know what I mean? You know, yeah,
Oh, I
that
love that part where they got to, yeah, I think it was the Emerald City,
city, yeah,
and all the colors
yeah.
changed. It was awesome. Like
Our
dead
culture, man, yeah.
red. I'm like,
All
okay.
and it was all black.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't it, sister?
Yes,
The
it sure was. I was like,
women look good.
wow.
I mean, yeah,
It was hot. Like,
yeah.
and even when they changed the colors, like they changed it from red to yellow
Mhm.
to like green. I'm like, what's going on here?
Yeah. That shit had what they had.
Awesome.
That shit had Nipsey Russell, Michael Jackson, Diana Ross,
Ted Ross
and Ted Ross. Yeah,
was the
yeah.
lion.
Right. I forgot about him. Yeah, you know what I mean. And then you had Richard Pryor behind the screen. I mean, I forgot that lady that played the witch. That sister.
I loved her because I liked
Yeah,
it. I liked it whenever she said, "Don't nobody bring me no bad news, man." She
yeah,
got down on that song. I said, "Go ahead on."
yeah. She was in Blues Brothers too, wasn't she?
I think
What?
she
Yeah, I think
was.
it was the same sister. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so our culture, and that's what I'm saying. They made movies like the Blues Brothers. And you had to come to us, man. And and that's why Eddie Murphy is a great. Eddie Murphy is a great. You know what I'm saying? That what he did with Trading Places and um 48 Hours. I mean, it just took our culture to the next level. And then when he got a chance to do his own movies, when he did, Coming to America, um, Boomerang, Harlem Nights. He made us look beautiful. He had us on top,
Yeah.
with the exception of Harlem Nights because it was a time period piece. The other two movies, not Trading Places, Boomerang and Coming to America, he had us at a regal level. We were the executives. The white people was the servant. You see what I'm saying? And like I said, man, our culture was at a fucking zenith. You know what I mean? Even the white boys couldn't do a soundtrack without us. Remember the soundtrack era? Where the soundtracks were the shit. You bought the soundtracks. That's how you bought music in the early 90s. And every movie, for whether it was a corruptor or whatever, it doesn't matter. Whatever, anyhow, Hollywood, they came to the black artists to fill up the soundtracks. You know, like I said, man, our culture was at the zenith, but we didn't cherish it and we didn't protect it. So now everybody else is using this shit like it's theirs. And 30 years from now, they're gonna say it's theirs. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah. Eminem was the first one to do this. Vanilla it's already bad enough. Vanilla Ice was the first rapper to win a Grammy.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
This is what they do to us. You know what I'm saying?
What?
Yeah, it's sucker
He
shit.
he was the first.
That's why when you got Will Smith, remember we had that boycott party? Remember when the hip hop, they had the boycott party out in LA and everybody went to the party over there in LA and Run DMC and Will Smith and all of them were over there boycotting the Grammys and all that. That's why they weren't even filming this shit. But they did some ugly stuff to us, man, back in the day. Matter of fact, back in the 80s, if you go look up right now on YouTube, the AMAs in the 80s, two crazy things happened. They would call it the black category. That was the category of music. They didn't even call R&B music. They called it the black category. A bullshit you not. And guess who the nominees were? Stevie Wonder. This is who were going up against each other. Stevie Wonder, Prince, Michael, and I'm forgetting somebody else. There was another artist, and I'm talking about greats. That was your category. And these are the people who were killing the numbers, and they put them in this small category when they should have been going up against Paul McCartney.
Yep.
And Billy Joel. You know what I'm saying? This is what they've done to us. And we keep accepting the shit, man. And we kept pushing, and we got our little slice, man. But look what they did. They got slick with it. They wore us down, and now they got the sellouts and the idiots, getting signed. And you can't even get signed if you got a conscience of any kind. If you got any real music, they're not even going to sign you. They want you talking about lean, pills, hoes, and I need you to kill at least 5 niggas on this record.
Mm-hmm.
You notice
Right.
I noticed that I was watching a video with Rihanna, and I was looking because you know it's one thing to hear the music, but then to look at the video. Like I looked at Needed Me, like she
Mhm.
literally just pulled up on somebody, shot this dude, and just rolled out of there. And I'm like, okay, so what type of message are you sending to other people
Yeah.
with this video?
It's a culture. It's like we're on a death march. It's like generationally, right? We're at the end of a time where we're going through a psychological issue. Our music is always reflected what's going on with us. And right now, I think we're depressed and defeated. You know what I mean? Where our music's not reflecting the fact of what we're going through. We got black people being lynched legally right now. You know what I mean? And our music's not even reflecting that. I want you to think about that. Every generation, our music is representing what's going on with us. Whether it was, like I said, Billie Holiday singing about strange fruit, that was talking about lynching, right? Whether it was Marvin Gaye talking about what's going on, you know what I mean?
Oh
Hip hop when it
yes.
first came, when hip hop was the message, you know, one of the biggest first hits for hip hop. That was on some content. That was a content. One of the biggest hits besides, you know, Sugar Hill was the message to this day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When the message was talking about what was going on with us, and that's what hip hop was about. Our music, hip hop is no different than anything else. Our music is always representing what's going on with us. Again, the blues came out of us being what? Down, down and out. My man fired me today. My baby left me. You know what I mean? It was about what we were going through. That's the and we forgot about one aspect too. We forgot one other corner that we can't forget. Gospel. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Grassroots gospel. You know, I'm talking about back with the hymns. You know what I'm saying? And shout band. You know what I'm saying? All of that shit's the foundation for what we call rock music. Well, you talking about shout band, which is the foundation for swing and swing band. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the foundation, you know, and all that comes from what? Suffering
Suffering. Yep.
in our experience, man. This is not something to play. It's not light. It's real. And if other cultures can have made up cultures, made up history, and treat it and willing to kill and die over made up history, we got something that's real, and we won't fight for it. That's a problem. That's a
So
fucking problem.
it is. Yeah.
That
Mm-hmm.
means we're dead. You know, our spirit is dead. I mean, not all of us. I'm not. I represent the culture all the time on my channel. Before every live stream, I'm going live tomorrow on Mother's Day, and I always play music in the beginning to represent our culture. You know, I represent the culture.
Yeah. It's like suffering, man. It's like things that we talk, that music and people we talk about. You talk to these people today. Like, those are ancient times. Yeah, that's part of your culture. That's part of your history.
Yeah,
We can't run away. We can't run away from that.
no other group does it, man. But you know, they've conditioned us to, you know, ever since the plantation, where we've been ripped away from our own families, right? So you had to move on. Don't know where your kid is at. You know, don't. You know, dysfunction is just also part of our experience. You know what I'm saying? And in a weird way, segregation made us stronger. Remember, segregation is what calcified our culture. It calcified the black church culture. It calcified, you know, the black blues and the black R&B cultures. You know what I'm saying? That's where we got our talk and our swag and all of that. The foundation of all of that came from segregation. When we just took ourselves. The only time we was around white people was when we was making money, getting our earnings. We went back to our black enclaves. You know what I'm saying? You know, they were practicing not only segregation, but in the North, they were practicing, you know, stuff like racial covenants and shit. You know what I mean? We couldn't, you know what I'm saying? We only could move in certain places. So we were forced to be with each other. That's why Harlem was so strong. You know, that's why pockets in the South were so strong. That's how you can get a Stax, a Motown. You know what I mean? Because your culture was strong. You know, you were doing you. And we need to get back to that. And I don't think you need to move to live around each other. I just think we need to emotionally, mentally, socially, and financially segregate ourselves again. That's just my opinion.
They never wanted Dr. King and Malcolm X to get together. And I do believe that Dr. King saw exactly what was going down before his death.
Oh, yeah, his last year, he changed, man.
He that last little bit, I was like, wow,
Yeah, that last
you
year,
see it
King
now?
was on one, yeah.
I'm like, he's seen it. It was like he was like, whoa.
What did King say in his last year? In a couple occasions, or a few occasions, we come to get our check. You know, he was changing the whole thing around. He wanted economic reparations. You know, he wanted specific set asides. You know, this is his own words. You know, when he saw what happened in Chicago when he went up there to help with the housing issue, he saw that this racist thing is national. It's not just a Southern thing. It's institutional, and these people are willing to kill and die to keep it in place. You know what I mean? So we need our paper. We need our check so we can catch up. If y'all not going to let us work our way into the system, work our way into society, just give us our paper, because you gave it to everybody else. Like my man said, this is Dr. King's words. You know, he said when they expanded to the West and they gave them, free land, and grants so they can help, land grants so they can learn how to mechanize their land and all that. It showed the willingness for the American government to undergird its European peasants. So people like, I'll give you an example, like Paul Ryan, who was the previous Republican Speaker of the House. His family's from Wisconsin, but his family came straight through to America, and then they sent them to Wisconsin and gave them everything else. So now his family is an old, rich white family from Wisconsin. You see what I'm saying? That's real. It's not just a Southern thing. It's New York. It's the Carnegies, the Blue Bloods. It's all of them. You know what I mean? That founded these cities. They're not giving you that. You gotta have to take that shit. And nothing, you get nothing without a demand. And when you have cowards running around here who even argue the fact that we owe reparations, that's insanity. These so-called black conservatives, and they talk crazy because they always talk about business and compound interest and and investments and all that kind of shit. Well, guess what? You were an investment, motherfucker. Your ancestors was an investment, and they need to pay on it because there would be no country without us.
You better not tell them that.
I had this conversation with white folk at my job. I don't give a shit.
You.
I don't give a shit, man. I'll tell you, I lost a white colleague that I was cool with a couple weeks ago. He was, talking some stuff in the office, and he showed his true colors, and I called him a straight up racist. I said, and the way I framed it, I said, if any person can't see it this way, or if they agree with this extrajudicial killing of this brother, and you support that, or you think that's justified, you're racist. Well, you can't say that. I just did.
Dang, there it is. Boom.
I just did. You're a racist. You can't. There's no justification there. That's against the law. We have you got you idiots out here to watch OAA, and OAN, and that conservative news channel and all that, and Fox News and all that. You're always talking about constitutionists and and patriot. That where's your patriotism now? You're racist. Straight up. Now, what time's the meeting tomorrow? Fuck out of here. That's how it's got to be. That's how it's got to be.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
What's so interesting? I had a situation go down on the plantation that I'm on, like my last duty station. I had a supervisor, man. But at least I can say for him, he wasn't covert. He was overt, like overt coming. And you know what they say. Well, if you put your head down, don't say anything. everything will be all right. I'm like, nah, that doesn't work. It just gets worse. I mean, and I knew once I said something that, well, it couldn't be taken back. And I'm thinking, okay, is this person going to get reprimanded? Probably not. Probably going to have to go back in that same work environment. And I did. But in the end, I'm glad that I did break my silence. Because
my last job,
Mhm.
I was working in DC before I came here. And I told the SCS, the deputy commander who was in the meeting, I said, look, if there's a problem with people, because this was Black Lives Matter was happening. People had, because black people around the office having these conversations. If it's a problem, then fine. This is a professional workspace. We shouldn't have to talk. We shouldn't be talking politics if you feel that way. But I'm gonna need you to turn Fox News off then.
That's right. Turn
I'm
off
gonna need you
that.
to turn it off then, and I need you to tell all your Fox News viewers and all that to stop having their conversations around the office. And also, I need the other guy that's up in I forgot his name, but I said his name in the meeting. I need him to take down that picture of a Barack Obama with the Joker face. I need him to take that down as well. All right. So if y'all want to clean all this up, let's clean it up. I'm with it. Let's make this a professional workspace.
There you go.
Everybody.
No Trump hats, no nobody, just nothing.
Now this is when Obama was in office.
Oh, okay, yeah.
All right, so
nobody.
They were kirking out because they had to look up to see that shit every day. You know what I mean? They had to see Michelle's big ass lips every day. They was fucking flipping out. They were losing it. So I said, okay, no problem. I was in a meeting. We was in a SIG meeting. And I said, I have no problem with that. Let's clean it up. So when I walk into the ops center, when I walk into the lobby, if I walk in any office around here, I shouldn't hear no Fox News. Just keep it apolitical. Put headline news on everywhere, and we good. And I want all of these "Don't Tread on Me" flags. All of these, I want all that shit down. Because if I come in here with an RGB flag, it's gonna be a problem. That's exactly what I said to me. If I came here with an RGB flag, a red, green, black flag, y'all, that'd be a fucking problem in here, which shows what's really going on. So let's to alleviate all of that. All right, because if I don't see any changes around here, I'm gonna start expressing myself, and that's what we've been doing. That's what people around here have been doing. They've been seeing something happening to their group and naturally expressing themselves. If you ask them to curve that shit, fine. You're well in your rights to do so, sir. All I'm saying is that I don't want to see none of this other stuff around here. Let's keep it even. Do you think it happened? Hell no, they didn't stop the white boys from expressing themselves. So guess what we got to do? We still got to talk in the lobby and say what the fuck we wanted to say. That's how it is.
Yeah, there you go. I think that it's sad that we had to have laws to protect our hair. Like, does anybody else have a Crown Act or anything like that to protect our hair?
I do put a lot. See, that's a tough one because it's hard to fight for that, which is something we should fight for. But when you have sisters out here arguing with you over weave, you know what I mean? Like if I was to tell a sister I like you natural, she would literally fight with you.
Well,
you know what I mean? I'm not even talking about me ordering her to do something. I'm talking about if I say I prefer a natural woman, what's your problem with a weave? So now you want to free get here and get an attitude with me over weave? So if you want to walk around here with Becky's hairstyle and bowing down to her standards of beauty, you giving them carte blanche. You know what I mean? Now, do I agree with them fucking with black people? Hell no. I'm as black as it gets. It bothers me. Especially when them little girls get fucked with at schools and stuff. That's horrible. When they come to school with locks, locks is not no fad. Dreadlocks is in stone in Africa. You know what I'm saying? The West Nile Valley has that in stone. You can go to Alexandria to a museum and see a bust of an African man, of course, with his nose missing, but of dreads. That's not a fad. That's an ancient hairstyle. It's older than you. Dreadlocks has been on this planet longer than white people have been on the planet. So it's unfortunate that happens, man. But it's a hard argument to make. I'm sitting here fighting in the office, and then right there in the corner is my sister with a full weave on, Yaki 10.
You know, I've embraced every lock, every coil, every nap. I remember the one she looked at me. She's like, you gonna run a comb through that? I said, I sure am. And I ran my fingers through that, and I was like, I'm good. I'm good. I can do a little finger comb, and that's it. That's all we need. That's all I need.
There's some beautiful black female hairstyles out there too. You know, and in worst case scenario, we don't want black women look better than any other woman with a short haircut. Can anybody say Nia Long, Holly Berry cuts? Remember Nita Baker and all that? I mean, there's really no excuse for it at this point. You know what I mean? It's just what sisters want to do, which is fine. But when this shit starts happening to other girls, it's kind of a betrayal. You see what I'm saying? One thing about black men that no one can say is we in the world how we look. You see them boys out there in sports, they sign. They out there with their hair nappy and shit. They don't give a fuck. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying black women should be nappy, but you know, I grew up around black women who did their hair. You know what I mean? I grew up in a different time. I was born in 77. The black women who helped raise me in the late 70s and 80s, they did their hair. They had hot combs and, you know, TCB, green grease, and you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And the rollers in the house, and you know, you know, and they knew how to braid hair. They knew how to put shit down. Most girls today don't know how to braid hair, and that's a side effect to all of the synthetic shit. So again, like the music, right? We're losing our culture. We're losing us. You know, and I'm telling you right now, when you have boys running around the house, you know, watching black women do their thing, you're used to that. You gain an appreciation and an understanding of that. You see what I'm saying? Yep. So now when you're raising these boys now with weave all the time, they don't have an appreciation for your natural beauty. They're not even used to it. They're not used to their sisters out here combing their hair and braiding hair. You know? So there's a lot that goes along with that. And unfortunately, when some sisters hear that, they automatically get upset and don't understand the spiritual and the cultural meaning of hair. And then, you know, also there's the crown thing too. You know, back in the day, the people mimicked, you know, what the princess and the queen was wearing. So the queen's crown was like a fashion statement. So who crown are you wearing? Queen. You know what I mean? That's all. It's just a question. So I don't want to start no beef on the underrated darkness. That's a simple question. Queen. You know,
are you still talking to me?
No, not you. I'm just talking to women in general. You know, who might hear this broadcast. You know, my question to the sisters is, you know, crown are you wearing? You know, I love natural black women. I grew up around natural black women. I'm cool, you know, with sisters looking the way they do. I'm not, you know, jaded. And I don't have this affinity for European beauty standards. I think beautiful white women are fine being beautiful white women. I think beautiful Asian women are fine being beautiful Asian women. But black women, there's nothing like them on the planet. There's nothing like a black woman on the planet.
Yep, exactly.
There's nothing like her. Her bone structure, her face structure, lips, nose. There's nothing like her skin. There's nothing like her. There's nothing like you. You know what I mean? On the planet. So if you're not going to embrace it and love it all the way, you know, you can't really make anybody else appreciate and respect it either. Because you showed them there's an alternative. They like, well, shit. Well, Sharon, can't you go get a weave? Gosh, I'm just trying to keep their office look professional. You know, they just keep saying fucked up shit to you. You know what I mean? You know, so anyway, that's my little spill about weave. I really don't care what people do with their hair. They can do what they want to do. I just say, as a black man, I appreciate the natural beauty. If that is get taken the wrong way, that's not my problem. That is yours.
Okay, queens, y'all heard that? Shoot, I'm up here almost blushing up here. Let me let me
That's
calm
not my
down.
problem, man. And some women think, some women take it to this thing. I'll say this last piece on this. I ain't gonna talk about weave all night, but some women take offense, like, you're trying to hold me back.
What?
You want me to be a picket lady? Yeah, they take it like that, man. It's some real deep shit with us. You know what I mean? But this is not new. We've been here before. This has been our problem because we've been up under these people, and mentally we have been destroyed. You know what I mean? There's a lot of mental issues running around the black community. A lot of them. You got mammyism, you got bedwench and shit, you got bedbuck and shit. You know what I mean? You got coons, you got fucking sambos. We got a lot of different shit going on. And it comes out in different ways, man.
Music too. Yeah, the sad thing about it is it's play. It make a negativity of our music for a long time, which you mentioned.
Yeah. Yep, it's coming out in the music. It is exactly coming out in the music. When you see these brothers out here, idolizing non-black women in their videos now, you know what I'm saying? It's coming out, and then they literally get on the mic, and whether it's Travis Scott or that dude that was wearing a dress down in Atlanta. Yeah, he was hot a few years ago. I don't know where he at now. He got on the mic and he talking about, when they had the Black Lives Matter shit going on, he's like, yeah, I don't get into politics. I don't care about none of that. I'm about this music and this money. So you got niggas out here in rap now, the renegade form of music, that are afraid to be renegades. All they care about is getting their next check. They don't even care about the people. When did hip hop not care about the people, the streets? There's literally riots going on in the streets at that time. Young Thug, that was his name. So Young Thug, and then you had Travis Scott, and his issue. Then you had ASAP Rocky. He also said some slick shit. See, niggas is detached from their community. They don't even have any Fendi or any, no. The community to them, it's like they're using the community the same way white people use the community. They're slumming. You know what I mean? Back in the day, white folks would come down to the black community or come down to the black club to dance with us and hang out. They called it slumming. So now you have black people literally slumming inside the community, where they use the blackness, they use the ghetto talk, they use the street talk, they use the Negro dialect to make their music, to talk a certain way, but fuck the people. Just like who? Like the Diamond Society. And that's what you have out here right now.
Yeah, that's facts. But let's get back. Yeah, let's get back to the music. What y'all think about Nat King Cole?
Are you talking the daughter?
I was talking about the father. No, Nat King Cole.
One of the greatest crooners of all time. That's about it, man. But he wasn't really attached to his community neither. He was on some cool shit. But as far as music is concerned, he's one of the greatest crooners of all time. If not the greatest crooner of all time.
Yeah. Let me see.
He had that crooning style. That style that they hand over to Sinatra. Nah, Nat King Cole was the king of that shit. The brothers.
What about the Rat Club that Sammy Davis Jr. was a part?
Rat Pack.
Frank Sinatra, D. Martin, Rat Pack. Yeah, the Rat Pack.
Yo, those some wild dudes, man. Dean Martin was a wild dude. Sammy was a wild dude. These dudes is in Vegas just getting high and having a good time. Getting drunk and high and having a good time, man. But I'll tell you one thing, I give Sinatra props. He did respect hard work. So if he worked with you and he knew you, he had a relationship with you, he looked out for you. And on multiple occasions, Sammy Davis Jr. was getting shitted on. And it was him and D. Martin. It was like, yo, then I'm not going on tonight unless you pay Sammy. And you pay him the same you pay us. That's real. Yeah, I give props where it's due. You know what I mean? I give
And
props where it's
also,
due.
Frank Sinatra. Go watch the HBO special about Joe Louis. There's
Mhm.
certain things you're gonna see Joe Louis, you're gonna get mad. But young Frank Sinatra, he was coming up. Joe Louis gave some money when Frank Sinatra first came when he was young. So
Yep.
when Joe Louis was getting sick like in the 70s, like late 60s going to the 70s. Those Frank Sinatra paid for all his bills.
Yeah, he did. Frank Sinatra showed love, man. He wasn't. I
Yeah,
honestly believe Frank Sinatra was not a racist. He just was a white man.
yeah,
Living in a racist society. They exist. There's some people who rise above themselves. I have a saying, and I might not agree with this, right? I say in American society, white people are born racist and black people are born coons. You know what I mean? You know how they have that term born again, or born a sinner? We're not born sinners in America. We're born coons because of the environment, the structure, the history,
yeah.
the social mechanisms and the social pressures to be, what we are, and then have to perform in front of white people and not say how we really feel. You know what I mean? You're born a coon in society. You have to learn your history. You have to become a black man. You know what I'm saying? You have to transform into that shit in America. If you just be no void default, you're gonna be a pure coon in this country. All right? And same thing with white folk. They're born a race. They're born into a racist society. They've been taught that from childhood. And the ones who are not have to break out of it. They have to break out of that shit. Racism and white supremacy is not going to end until they end it. They don't want to practice it. It's not our problem. It's funny when they always like have these conversations and make it our problem. So what do you think we should do about it? What the fuck? No, what are you going to do about it, honky? Y'all the ones doing this shit. It ain't got nothing to do with us.
Dang.
You know what I mean? Y'all the ones. It's your problem. We living under this shit. That boy that was jogging, that wasn't his problem. The ones that would track him down in that truck, it was their problem. They're the ones with the problem. You know what I mean? That's the mindset we gotta have. It's not our fucking problem, it's yours. Y'all steal our music, y'all steal our culture to make money. Y'all built empires off of it. Y'all made billions of dollars off our culture. After you made billions of dollars off our sweat and blood. And all the whole time, y'all been making money off our bodies by frequency laws and chain gangs, and and then and then later on you had mass incarceration. I mean, it's never stopped. These are fucking job programs for your cousins. And then your corporations get to come in and get some cheap labor to make some panties. Well, for my sisters who buy Victoria's Secret. I mean, look, I'm woke. Not the hashtag woke. I'm awake. I pay attention to what's happening with us and what's happening with our people. And that's another aspect of being in your culture. You can't disrespect one Jewish person in public. Not one. You understand me? Not one, let alone touch one. The whole Jewish community takes offense to it. You can't even say Jewish people are rich without them taking offense to it. You can't even give them a compliment. Their mechanism kicks in right away just to make sure. Anti-Semitic. Oh, okay. We thought he was being anti-Semitic, but you still shouldn't. You know what I mean? They are that serious with it when it comes to their culture and their people. I wish we were that way.
Yeah.
You know what I find interesting? This is just me because I'm one of those people who can get existential. Whenever I was listening to a Yapo
Mm-hmm.
on his speaker, because he's talking about, we need to separate now. And when he was talking about, with slavery and that, the powers that be don't even care about their own people. Like okay, there's an echo. Wait a second. Who's echoing? Okay. I know it ain't me. But
I'm on headphones.
He was talking about that, and I'm thinking, with slavery, the elite only care about their own people. So even let's say worst comes to worst, we're eliminated. and then they go after the brown people and the olive people. You really think that they're not going to look and be like, oh, you guys are next?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I look at those people, I'm like, you guys really think that you're safe, that these same people won't turn on you? You really think that? Just, I mean, to me, and I know some people might disagree with me, but to me, white privilege is just an illusion. Because if it all came down to that, at the end of the day, the elite would turn on them.
Yeah, they use them.
Just like, us.
Yeah, what you're seeing play out, was like,
Mhm.
was it? There was a Lyndon Baines Johnson who said, you can pick a white man's pocket clean as long as he knows he's better than a nigga, right? Well, he said something to that effect.
Mm-hmm.
But all of that shit, you gotta understand the basis of it. Like when the peasants of Europe came over here, they were coming from serf culture. You know what I mean? When America was established, they were coming out of the monarchies. You know what I mean? Remember, we fought against the king of England. As America was being built up and they was coming over here, they were coming out of here as subjects and serfs. So they still have that culture with them. You know what I mean? As long as they get to have a little land and have a shotgun and I got a little bit over here and I'm good. I'm good. Because no matter what this rundown shack looks like, I'm white. I'm white and I'm happy and I'm not a Negro. You know what I'm saying? And I gets to hunt. I gets to hunt and I gets to shoot and I gets to farm and I gets to, you know what I mean? This is serf culture. Remember, they didn't have their land before. The land belonged to barons and lords. This is people understand everything is on the timeline. They're evolving. You know what I'm saying? And in this culture, you're not supposed to be equal to them. Period. That's why you would turn on ESPN and they're always on there, analyzing them, the psychoanalyzing the black players. They never do it to white players. All these sports that white players in, I'm talking about full leagues of white people like hockey. No psychoanalyst, all the psychoanalysts is for the black football players and the black NBA players. You know what I mean? And this is bowing down and putting in place. And that's what these conversations on sports is always really about. You know what I mean? It's an ongoing coon talk. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. That's all it is. And you got these people sitting in this fat motherfucker, who's wide, sitting in his jalopy, throwing food at the screen, talking about how this nigga don't appreciate nothing. He acting like that, and like the white boys ain't partying, like it's 1999. Like they not out here doing shit, like they ain't beating the shit out their women. Like they ain't out here getting drunk and driving. But it's always you on the screen, brother. And then we come to find out, yeah, there were some raps. There were some white people who got arrested. Yeah, there were some linebackers that got arrested that happened to be white. But you didn't hear about it on ESPN.
They be surely not gonna say it either.
You know what I'm saying? It's only you on ESPN.
I remember when that stuff went down about Michael Vick, man. They drug him till I was like, okay, we heard about him, as far as, with the dog fighting, but you gonna give him a rest?
Yeah.
Like, dang, they literally drug him. I was like, wow. Next.
They don't give a shit. They don't give a shit. You had when that Ray Rice thing happened, like the situation with Ray Rice. Ray Rice was he already went through the legal thing with his wife. They already went to, with the legal thing with the police. He already got fined and punished by the team. You know what I mean? It was already taken care of. And then his wife went ahead and married him. So him and his family worked it out. So a few months after the fact, the video comes out. So then he gets repunished and it becomes a political thing. The same time that video came out, what was happening in real time was a white judge, a federal judge down in Atlanta, an Atlanta hotel, on audio while his wife was on 911 fucking her up. Ray Rice is out of the league. That judge is still on the bench. They could have made him the bellwether, but no, it had to be you, brother. It's what Tupac say. It's all about you, and that's how it's been since the beginning of the country. You've been the bane of society. No matter who's raping, who's really done the rape, whoever really raped that white woman, you got these poor white men running around the country. You had the Wild Wild West. You had all kind of stuff. You didn't have a country as put together as it was now. But every time something bad would happen, guess what they got blamed? You. And to this day, you got brothers getting out of jail. It seems like every other area month. Yeah, he's been exonerated through DNA. Spent 25, 30 years in jail. No one bats an eye. It's all about you. You know what I'm saying? Everything's about you. You are America. It was built on you. Your music was the soundtrack for it. All of those old white people, their soundtrack is Motown. That's their soundtrack. That's why when you go to those you ever see those telethon shows that come on PBS and shit, and they bring out all the old greats and they ran the Temptations, Dramatics, and all that crowd full of white people. Whole audience, 95%
That's true.
white.
Yeah.
Yep.
And them shows and those box sets are for white folk.
Yeah. Look at Jerry Lewis kids back in telethon. He said he was running for years. Man, most of the audience is white, but the most of the performance is black.
It's all about you. That's why you could have been easily been put in Dirty Dancing, but they're not gonna give you it to you. Hollywood's like, hell no. Nah. We're gonna make a move about niggers, but we're not gonna use any niggers. All right, we'll put a token nigger in the dancing in the background, but he's got to be dancing with his girl though. So they made sure that brother was dancing with his girl. There was a black. Remember the Dirty Dancing? There was that black couple. You know, they weren't mixing none of that up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
They was way in the back.
Yeah. You know, and then it was time to make love. They put on that black man's voice, that Solomon Burke. You know, what you feel like crying? Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun. We that rhythm, baby. We it. We it. And we come from the mud. You know, and I think that's something that we can all be proud of, man. Be proud of your culture. Be proud of who you are. So whether it's music, whether it's your body, whether it's, whatever it is, man. I'm one of the best at what I do in the entire Department of Defense. And I've never bent my back. I work for the top generals, and a lot of them like me because I'm real. I'm honest. Some don't. Some people are not going to like you. But I noticed about men of power, even white men, even if they don't really rock with you like that, they're going to respect you. Same thing. Just look at Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali was despised when he was here. White America couldn't hate him. They couldn't stand him. You know what I mean? And he wouldn't shut up. So they stripped him. They did what they could to hurt him. But you know what? Out of all that hatred, they still respected him. Mm-hmm. Get your respect, fam. Don't worry about nothing else. Everything else will fall into place. And if we multiply that and we stand shoulder to shoulder and we get each other, sure, we're going to take losses. That's how war works. But you're going to have to fight the war if you ever want to triumph. And that's just the way it goes. You know what I mean? So, our culture is worth fighting for. Mm-hmm. I dare say it's worth dying for. Too many people suffered, and too much excellence, too much genius. You know what I'm saying? Smokey Robinson was a genius. You know what I'm saying? Those brothers out in Philly,
Gamble Huff,
genius. What made that white boy? Look, man, you heard what Darryl. You saw what Darryl Hall did at the Rock and Hall of Fame acceptance speech. John went up there. John Oates said, "Can't thank my family." Da da da. It was Darryl's turn to talk. Darryl was like, "Fuck that. There should be other people in this thing." He named a bunch of black artists from Philly.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? They're the ones that taught him.
Right.
He was up under Gamble and Huff. They gave him. You know what I mean? They used to be in the same clubs, and never mind. You gotta listen to these people talk and get the history of it.
I did. I listened to it. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's true.
Daryl Hall will tell you the truth.
Yeah. And
He
Daryl Hall
reveres.
he from Pennsylvania, not that far from Philly. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. He was like an intern under Gamma. A lot of people
Yeah, he was up under them. They was at the like they showed the old marquee, and it was like 3 black artists and then Hall and Oates at the bottom. You know what I mean? They were rolling with them brothers, man, learning from them. David Bowie the same way. A lot of people don't know that when David Bowie got out of that theater art, that theater rock shit, and he started doing like more R&B pop music, he turned to 2 people. He turned to what's that brother from Chic, the big guitar.
Now,
Niles Rodgers,
Davis.
yeah.
Now
Niles
Rogers.
Rodgers, yeah. So when you hear "Let's Dance," doom 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 doom
Yeah.
doom, that's Niles Rodgers in them. But but he couldn't sing, right? So who did he turn to? Well, who was one of his backup singers at the time? It was Luther Vandross. And Luther Vandross was changed. And Luther Vandross and his people were trying to get David Bowie to sing it, R&B, but then they found a way where he can sing, because he wanted to sing on R&B music.
Yo, well, I'm gonna tell you one song. I forgot what LP Sheep. When Luther Vandross was a backup singer of Sheep. Listen to Happy Man. Oh my god, back in '78.
Yeah,
Shut hot.
Yeah, you had to earn yours back then, man. You had to earn yours, man. A lot of the great artists started out as backup people.
Backup, yeah.
And they did it for a while.
Yeah, even Denise Williams, she backed Stevie Wonder. He called Wonder World. Denise Williams came from backup from Stevie Wonder.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, look, man, we can get this shit back. We're gonna have to have some standards. We gotta love it more than anybody else. We gotta love our culture. We gotta love ourselves, man. We gotta love ourselves. And loving ourselves is not being nice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I gotta knock somebody's tooth out their mouth, that's love too. It's called protecting my shit.
Yeah.
So I see a lot of this shit going on, and it's weird, man. I'm in a weird space because being overseas, you get to see how other cultures use your culture, but they still don't like you. It's fucking weird.
Yeah.
I be around Turks and shit down by the waterfront, and they all hip hop out and trap beats and shit, and then you looking at you like you don't belong there. It's nuts. Absolutely nuts.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Hispanics, I understand they were there in the beginning of hip hop. Puerto Ricans were there, Dominicans were there when New York was coming up. But they try to claim hip hop, and it's like, all right, look, you was part of the beginning, you was there, but you got down without shit. Hip hop is built on black music, all right? That's black beats, that's black, phrasing, that's black everything. But this is what other groups do. Look at reggaeton. Reggaeton is reggae music. It's based on a reggae beat, a one reggae rhythm. One reggae rhythm. I gotta say it right. Rhythm man. One reggae, one dancehall rhythm. You know what I mean? And then they created a whole genre of music on top of that rhythm. And if you go ask them, it's their shit. They created out of nothing. Get the fuck out of here. We come look, man. Colombian music, Colombian food. Cuban music, Cuban food, salsa, merengue, black shit. It comes from the dark people of those regions, man.
Mm-hmm.
They created all of it. You go to Cuba, the greatest, the mother of that music. I forgot that sister's name. She's a huge star there, and she's old as I don't know what now. Oh my God, I have a brain cramp.
It's like Selena.
Selena, yeah, no, Selena. What's her name? What's the last name? Selena. Is it not? It's not the Selena from Mexico. She's Selena something else. Oh my God. But anyway, same thing down with the Afro, Cuban Colombians that started the music that came out of Colombia. We all know about Brazil. You know what I mean? Now they took the hip shaking and booty shaking and changed it up. You know what I mean? But that's what happens over time anyway. It's like black people. Black people in America are different. We took soul music and it comes out different in Georgia than it comes out in New York. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because how we talk and how we live. But it's all black. It all comes from the continent. It all comes from Africa. All of it. And in the Western Hemisphere, it comes from black slaves. You know, we're the baseline for a lot of shit. And I just want people to understand how much we enrich everybody else's lives. Think how much fun people have had watching our athletes or listening to our music and dancing to our music. Think how much which we give to life. We got the greatest comedians. You know what I mean? Come on, man. We the shit.
Mm-hmm.
Who's funnier than Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock and Red Fox and Richard Pryor? Who did it better than Eddie? I'm talking about period. Forget color. Period.
George
Nobody.
Carlin, man. I will say this: George Carlin made a really hard run at it. That's all I'm gonna say.
No, George Carlin, I'll give him this. George Carlin was the father of political comedy. He killed that. That was his baby. He really you wouldn't have Louis Black, Bill Maher without fucking that guy. You know what I'm saying? He killed political comedy. You know, I'll say the main person right now that took his spot in political comedy, who's the funniest, would have to be Chris Rock. You know, who's the funniest? You know what I'm saying? There's some other good ones out there, you know. But George Carlin, George Carlin brought in that political, you know, run on, got you at the edge of your seat, political comedy. Yeah, I give him that. Yeah, I give him that. No doubt. He brought that to the game, for real. But before George Carlin, you had Red Fox, Pig Meat, Bob's Mabley.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We talking about people who took comedy in a whole nother direction. It was never done like that before. The best it got was dirty jokes from the Rat Pack. You see what I'm saying? That was comedy back then. That's how the comedy was delivered. Okay? And then later on, you got on the white side, I'll give you the greats from the white side. You got Rodney Dangerfield, Dom Nichols.
Red Buttons.
Red Buttons, okay. Dom Nichols, he was off the hook. He was one before you had Andrew Dice Clay and all of them. There was that guy. That guy was dirty and filthy as shit. But what gave him license to do what he did? Red Fox. We you know what I mean? We created these lanes, man. We knocked those doors down, and those guys would go down in slum and go down to those comedy clubs and listen to the brothers do their thing, and fucking die laughing like, oh shit, I'm going. You know what? Fuck it. Why am I doing this straight laced shit? You know what I'm saying? So we bring a lot to the game. You know, we didn't just bring dirty dancing to the game. We brought dirty comedy. You know?
Yeah.
We brought it because we come from the mud. We were going through the most. You know, so our shit was raw. You know, anyway, I can talk all night about our culture, man. As you can tell.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna Jay, I want y'all to make your last remarks. That is it to close out. I'm glad you came up there, my brother. Been a while. Back to basics. Been a while, and I want you to come back more. Yeah, and also I'm thinking about doing next week Underrated Music Talk about the late great Slim Harpo. He was the first blues player that had crossover hits. He died in a car accident back in 1970. So he the one made Scratch My Back.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the few ones that he was Emmy nominated. So I might do some next week. So I might do some and see how it feels. Well, you know, Jay Sean, say your last remarks, please, and then back to basics.
Oh, thanks for having me, man. Good talking to y'all. Yeah, when you talk about our culture, boss, I goes the fuck in because I'm from the culture, for real.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope everybody, you know, who comes across this live stream, you know, feels me on that. You know what I mean? And it's not mine; it's yours too. Your people came through this shit. You know what I mean? And your culture represents every era, and every era represents a life experience that your people were living through. You know what I mean? You should feel that. You should put dust off a record. Use YouTube. Go listen to those old records, man. Go listen to Johnny Walker. Go listen to Simon Burke. You know what I mean? Go listen to Otis Redding. Go listen to your greats, man. People who laid down the groundwork for everything you have right now. Pop music, everything came from us. Pop music is a creation of ours. That's Stax and Motown. That's, I mean, you know what I'm saying? So just remember, man, that life is a journey of transactions, and I always sign off my live streams by saying, business is life and life is business. So handle yours. So salute to you, brother. Salute to you, sister. It was very good talking to you, my sister. Very beautiful person.
Oh, thank you so much. You as well.
It was a pleasure talking to you, for real. And so I'll go ahead and get out your way, brother, and maybe I'll catch you next weekend.
Yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, I might do some. I might do. Well, you ain't gonna. I might do a live later on today. So if you catch that, be a pleasure.
Okay, it's 6:40 in the morning. I'm gonna get me some sleep.
Yeah,
and,
go.
I'm gonna get you some sleep, and I gotta get up and get some shit done around the house. But I'll do my best, and if I can get back on here, I will.
All right, thanks again, Jay Sean.
All right, peace and blessings.
Peace, man. Peace.
All right, back to basics. Last remarks, please.
I just want to say thank you for having me on the panel. I have been educated. There were, like I said, I'm not a music guru, but I do love our culture and how rich it is. I'd say that it's just time for us to embrace it and to celebrate it, to defend it.
Yeah, that's it.
And
okay,
for us to love ourselves, and that's what I'll say.
Okay, stay right there. I want to thank everybody that come in the chat, and that's very much appreciated. Pay homage to the late great Andre Harrell. He did a lot for us, so and also I did one about Little Richard. Remember I said yesterday. Yesterday, and that's just what it's all about. That I created the Underrated Music Talk to bring our culture back, to pay homage to the ones that started. And I'm going to keep on doing this no matter what people like it or not. But this is our culture, this is our people. There ain't no such thing. Just listen, a cutoff on time. I'm just going to listen to 30 years. That's it. We got to go beyond that. And let's not forget about them, because I'm going to make sure I'm not going to forget about them either. So on behalf of my channel, the Underrated Darkness, yours truly, the underrated one, the #1 grinder, Chef JT, not the chef in the kitchen. Believe that. I be chef with information. Respect my existence. Respect the underrated one family existence. Support, respect the LDBC existence. That's Lions Den boxing community, also basketball community. And there's another one right there. All right, so as I told you, I come with the banger, come with the true bangers. I already hit you with Little Richard. I hit you with Andre Harrell. And thanks to the ones who contribute both panels. I really appreciate that. I don't know today I'm gonna do fellowship. I don't know. It depends, but it really depends. I don't know, but we'll see. I don't know. But thank you so much. And on that note, be safe out there. Let's keep on fighting for our culture, wherever it takes, wherever it takes, wherever it takes. Good morning. This one is Kiddos.